How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be making some jalapeno hot sauce. I've got 40 pepper plants out there, so I need to find a couple of things to do with my peppers. I've made sauces before, but this time I'm going to be trying a recipe by Pitmaster X here on YouTube. I am going to make a couple of changes to his recipe just to change it to my taste. I'm sure his is great, but just a couple of changes for me. Those changes to his recipe are going to be, instead of 3 cloves of garlic, I'm going to use half a bulb of garlic. I'm also going to be adding that habanero, about half that habanero. I'll be grilling all these peppers, which he did in his video, but I'll also be grilling the habanero. Alright, first thing we're going to do is cut up the peppers, just chop the top off them, don't de-seed or devein them. I'm going to add half a habanero, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop that in half. 3 cloves of garlic, I'm going to go ahead and chop those up, and the onion too. I'll spare you me doing that. So let's get to it. Alright, we got the grill nice and hot, so let's go ahead and throw our peppers on. Now his recipe called for about 15 of them. I'm going to do 20 in a slightly larger batch. I don't think it'll affect the recipe all that much. There's a nice little habanero. If they're starting to get there, you can see the habanero starting to darken up a little bit. I want them overly grilled. Alright, those are about as grilled as I'm going to want to get them. Some of them aren't completely grilled, but that's alright. Enough to get the flavor in there. Oh, so get your pan nice and hot. Add a little bit of olive oil. Probably a little too much. That'll be alright. Alright, go ahead and throw in your diced up garlic and onions. Get them all in there. Now we're just going to soften them up a little bit. Alright, once they've started to soften up, go ahead and add your peppers. Ignore the bird. He doesn't like the smell of garlic. It's one of his many and varied quirks that gives him the nickname Pain in the Ass. I don't know what his issue is, but just go ahead and add those, and we'll go and brown it a little bit. Get them nice and softened up, then we'll get to the next step. Alright, that's right where I want it, so let's go get it over to the blender. Alright, just to be different, I'm going to be adding 2 jalapenos, just because I'm worried that you're going to lose a little bit of flavor when you grill them. Cayenne pepper. And then I'm going to go ahead and put all this in the blender. Alright, now to all that, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Go ahead and get that measured out. I'm just eyeballing this, really. And 3/4 cup of water. Now let's go ahead and blend that. I'm not quite done adding ingredients here. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, roundabouts there. Going to add 2 or about 1.5 tablespoons of cane sugar. I don't want it real sweet. His recipe calls for 1 to 2 it said, but I'm going to do about 1.5. So I really don't want it all that sweet. Now, in a little bit of a change from his recipe, I'm going to add half a lemon to give it a little more zest. Put the top back on. Alright, been pretty much liquefied. See if I can get a shot of it without spilling it. There we go. Ooh, smells wonderful. So now we just have to strain it out into a saucepan. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit at a time because I don't have a huge strainer, as you can see. Had a bigger one, it disappeared when I moved, so. Alright, now you've strained all that out, and all you're left with is a sauce and a bowl of mush. Go ahead and turn that on high and bring this to a boil. Alright, let's go ahead and give it a taste. See if we need to add anything. No, it's about perfect. Alright, the only thing left to do, go ahead and add it to a mason jar.